YouTube traveler. You have stumbled into the dark and creepy Tales dungeon. Please do come in, have a seat, and make yourself comfortable. You are going to be prisoner here a guest here for a while. So do get comfortable. I hope you remember to bring a whip, work in progress, a snack, maybe a drink, because I'd like to have you stay a while and share with you some stories. So, are you ready? Let's dive in. In all seriousness, my friends, today I have to post to you a discretionary warning. Viewer and listener discretion is advised. We are going to get pretty dark and gnarly a little bit into the episode, and it is suited for mature audiences only. There will be some topics of sensitive nature coming up. So there you have it. You have been warned. Now, let's dive into today's topic. As we enter November, I am participating in an event hosted by Diamond Painting with Jack here on YouTube, and the topic theme is Hello Kitty. But for many of you who know me, I don't Hello Kitty so well. I don't pink so well. I don't cute so well. So, as you saw in the intro, I am bringing my own spin and flavor to the event. We are doing the Unholy Kitty by Rokari at rokari-dpa.com. And I thought, what other perfect way to ring in this cute event and this Hello Kitty canvas than to dark and creepyify Hello Kitty herself. However, I am not heartless, so I thought before we get into the dark, dirty, nitty-gritty, I would go ahead and start us off with some nice, pleasant, fun facts about Hello Kitty. But you dark true crime lovers and urban legend lovers, don't worry, your fix is coming after I lull you into a false sense of security with some facts about Hello Kitty. Well, as you can imagine, creating an iconic character isn't easy, but sometimes one comes along that captivates generations. Hello Kitty has defied the odds to become an international superstar. Being more than just a mere trendsetter, the company behind Hello Kitty continues to ensure that the figure has adapted to a rapidly changing world. She's even transcended pop culture to create a platform for civic duties as well as charitable causes. Hello Kitty isn't doing this alone, though. The Sanrio legend now has a community of characters to rely on and help Hello Kitty as she betters the world. Here's some fun facts that you may not know about Hello Kitty. Hello Kitty is not in fact a cat. Hello Kitty is instantly recognizable thanks to her overall look. A cute bow tie, white fur, and just being adorable in general. The understandable assumption from fans all over the world has always been that the character is a cat. She has ears, whiskers, and heck, even her name is Hello Kitty after all. But those fans, they would be so very wrong. Hello Kitty is really a little girl. That's right, my friends, a little girl. Fans were shocked, who had adored the character for decades, to find out that the character is actually a little girl, a little British girl, in fact. She was born in London on November 1st, and according to the official website, is a cheery and happy little girl with a heart of gold. Needless to say, this did cause some shock when this surprising fact made its rounds on Twitter. Fact number 2. Hello Kitty's favorite food is apple pie. Fans may not think about what Hello Kitty eats, but the character does indeed have a favorite dish. This famous figure chooses what many kids would, a dessert. In the case of Hello Kitty, the choice is a freshly baked apple pie. According to the Sanrio company, she loves eating it as prepared by a loved one. Those in the know have tried their hand at creating a real Hello Kitty apple pie, And in most cases, their attempts include the character's hard-to-miss red bow. There's not one surefire recipe for this delicious treat, and many just go with conventional apple pie recipes. Another fact, Hello Kitty's real name is Kitty White. People throughout the world recognize the name Hello Kitty. Ask anyone about the character's full name, and the answer will likely be repeating those two words, Hello Kitty. However, there is a formal last name for the little British girl that the Sanrio company acknowledges in her backstory. Hello Kitty is officially known as Kitty White, with her family also using that surname. Hello Kitty's parents are George and Mary White. The White surname, by all accounts, comes from her father's side of the family. There's a mystery as to what her mother's family name might be. Like her mother's maiden name. Sanrio doesn't expand too far into that story or lineage. The surprise that she is human, not a cat, is enough for most people to have come to terms with. And yet another fact is that Hello Kitty promotes various charities. Hello Kitty has gone above and beyond the commercial sector, becoming a charity icon. Sanrio lent their star figure to a host of charities and charitable causes. Her presence can often be seen in connection to health issues, with popular figure-making appearances at hospitals as well. At other times, merchandise featuring the character and her friends has been donated to multiple different organizations over the years. Additionally, she's assisted in getting the word out about various medical topics like breast cancer awareness. It's not just children that find comfort in the character. People of all ages have looked to Hello Kitty for help with disaster relief. She's helped raise money for those who have experienced natural disasters. That's in addition to Sanrio presenting dolls, toys, and other items to people most in need of comfort. How about this fact? Did you know that Hello Kitty is a twin? Hello Kitty is far from an only child. Sanrio's expansive universe of characters presents a family story that is as heartwarming as the star herself. Kitty's sibling, Mimi, just happens to be her twin, and there are a few characteristics that set her apart from the famous sibling. The biggest difference comes from the bow placed in the right ear as opposed to the left. Its bright color was chosen as a contrasting hue to the famous Hello Kitty red accessory. Mimi also has more of a subtle personality. Mimi may look like her sister, but she's a very different character when it comes to personality. This twin is described as a shy and unassuming figure. Mimi lets her sister take center stage. Mimi, though, has a more rational approach to anything and makes this dedicated sibling the perfect companion to her outgoing sister. They often work together to achieve goals and show that strong sibling bonds are important for success. Here's something else you might not have known. Did you know that the first piece of Hello Kitty merchandise was a purse? Merchandising has been a big part of Hello Kitty's success. Now, fans can find everything from toys to housewares featuring the cute heroine. That wasn't always the case. When Sanrio first started out with the characters way back in 1975, the company produced its first Hello Kitty item that year, a small change purse that they called a petite purse. The original purse is currently in a secure location. It's a small coin purse and has a special place in the heart of the company Sanrio and in its location. It is kept at the company's headquarters and is described as being in a secure vault. Those who want the vinyl accessory might be in luck, though, thanks to the numerous replicas that the company has produced. The image featured on the purse can also be seen on other mass-produced items. This one's interesting. Hello Kitty's height is measured in apples. Measurements are far from a universal thing. The United States relies on the imperial system, while other major countries look to the metric system. Sanrio found a way around the confusion with a unique way to describe Hello Kitty's height. The character is described as being 5 apples tall. Her weight also uses apples for measurement. Sanrio relies on apples for all of Hello Kitty's vital stats. After all, the character's favorite food is apple pie, and the fruit itself is known the world over. The company also lists her weight as being as heavy as 3 apples, which is extremely light for the little British girl. However, not everything has been all sunshine and apples. There has been some controversy, some cause for concern. One fun fact points to a missing mouth controversy. As we know, animation is full of theories, some true and others nothing more than a myth, really. Not everything about Hello Kitty has been without controversy. One of the biggest controversies to hit the character involved her design. The lack of a mouth worried some fans, and there's been speculation hinting at silencing of women. It's a theory that has since been debunked by both experts and the company itself, however. The company claims that Hello Kitty gives people a way to experience their emotions. The lack of a mouth helps anyone make a connection with the character. Sanrio spokespersons have often said, without the mouth, it is easier for a person looking at Hello Kitty to project their feelings onto the character. And that way, the person can be happy or sad together with Hello Kitty. Isn't that just so sweet? But, my friends, this is where the sweetness ends. This is your warning that if you do not want to hear the urban legend about Hello Kitty's origin, followed immediately by a true crime story with a Hello Kitty element, now might be the time for you to step away, maybe watch something else, or if you're brave, continue on with me. Here we go. There are many terrifying urban legends out there about Hello Kitty, but there was one that I found come up over and over again, and it's pretty disturbing, and it relates to her origin story. First of all, where does Hello Kitty originate from? Well, Hello Kitty was created in 1974 by a Japanese merchandising company by the name of Sanrio. She was a round-faced white cat with yellow nose, black eyes, no mouth, 3 whiskers on each her left and right side of her face, and cat-like ears with a red bow perched on her left ear. But after hearing these urban legends and theories, you might not see the sweet, adorable cat as adorable and sweet anymore. According to the most popular urban legend regarding Hello Kitty's origins, it is said that the person who created the character Hello Kitty had a daughter who was about 14 years old and had mouth cancer, in which the doctors had told the mother that her daughter was terminally ill, meaning her illness had no cure and there was nothing more that they could do to help the young girl. The mother desperately went to every church in her city and prayed for her daughter to get well, and when that didn't work, well, that was the end of her rope. What else could the poor woman have done? Apparently, there was one more thing the mother could think to do. Being desperate to help her daughter, the mother decided to get involved with hot place rituals and hot place worship. You get what I'm saying? Down south, the hot place. In order to save her daughter, she herself had made a pact with the devil himself. For curing her daughter's cancer, the devil demanded one thing and one thing only. The mother would have to create a cartoon character that would appeal to children all over the world. The reason for this is because the devil wanted to use the fame and popularity of this character to bamboozle and trick people into worshiping him. When the daughter recovered from her mouth cancer, the mother kept her promise, and she created Hello Kitty, which is now one of the most famous characters known. The story continues on. It's said that the mother designed Hello Kitty with no mouth because her daughter had cancer of the mouth. Hello Kitty's pointed ears represent devil horns, The woman came up with the name Hello Kitty because apparently kitty in Chinese means demon. So Hello Kitty really means hello demon. According to the legend, it also says that anyone who buys Hello Kitty merchandise is welcoming the devil into their hearts, and that people who worship him use Hello Kitty as a secret symbol. They say that devil worshippers refer to Hello Kitty as the daughter of the devil. Of course, this is all just myth, and none of it is true. Kitty doesn't mean demon in Chinese, and the real reason Hello Kitty doesn't have a mouth is because the designers wanted to make her emotions more ambiguous. And that means they wanted you to project your emotions onto Hello Kitty. So if you're sad, she's sad, and if you're happy, she's happy, etc. But overall, Hello Kitty is not associated with the hot place, the devil, the hot place devil worshippers, or anything of the such. It is just an urban legend. But it is one that's in circulation, and where the last story I just told you about the origin, the alternate origin, if you will, of Hello Kitty was just an urban legend. The next tale I have for you, this is true crime, my friends. We're going to get, this is serious, we're going to get pretty dark and gruesome and ugly here. This is your final chance to step off this train because, true crime folks, you know, these things can get pretty dirty. And this one is, it's real bad. So buckle up, buttercups, because here we go. This next tale is a true crime story that is 100% true. On April 14th, 1999, Hong Kong nightclub hostess Fan Mei Yi died after suffering a month of brutal torture. Then, her killer shoved her head into a Hello Kitty stuffed animal. To this day, the Hello Kitty murder case remains one of the most disturbingly brutal in modern history. On March 17th, 1999, Hong Kong Triad member Chan Man Lok and his accomplices kidnapped 23-year-old nightclub hostess Fan Man Yi from her home and then slowly tortured her to death inside an apartment in a neighborhood district until she finally succumbed to her injuries on April 14th, 1999. And the messed up thing is the world may never have known about any of it at all, if not for one chilling visit to a Hong Kong police station by a young girl. In May of 1999, a young 14-year-old girl made her way to the Hong Kong police station. She told officers there that for the past several weeks, she'd been constantly plagued by the ghost of a woman who had been bound by electrical wire and tortured to death. The police brushed her off, dismissing her claims as nothing but dreams or teenage nonsense. However, their interest was piqued when she explained that the ghost was of a woman that she herself had had a hand in murdering. The police then decided to follow the girl back to her flat, which was located in a rundown district in the Kowloon area, where they discovered that the girl's dreams were in fact very real nightmares. Inside that flat, they found an oversized Hello Kitty doll with the decapitated skull of a woman inside of it. The case became known as the Hello Kitty murder and was regarded throughout Hong Kong as one of the most depraved crimes in memory. This is the grisly story of the Hello Kitty murder case. Fan Man Yi's life was tragic even before she was decapitated and her head was stuffed inside that Hello Kitty doll. After being abandoned by her family as a child, she was raised in a girl's home. By the time she was a teenager, she had developed a drug addiction and was turning to prostitution to pay for that habit. By 23, she had secured a job as a hostess at a nightclub, though she was still battling with her addictions. In early 1997, Fan Man Yi met Chan Man Lok, a 34-year-old socialite. The two met at the nightclub and discovered they had something in common. Fan Man Yi was a prostitute and a drug addict, and Chan Man Lok was a pimp and a drug dealer. Before long, Man Yi was a regular addition to Man Lok's group, in addition to his henchmen. Later, in 1997, desperate for money and drugs, Fan Man Yi stole Man Lok's wallet and attempted to make off with the $4,000 inside. She hadn't realized that Chan Man Lok was the last person she should have stolen from. As soon as he saw his cash was gone, Man Lok enlisted two of his henchmen, Xing Cho and Wai Lun, to help kidnap Man Yi. He intended to force her into prostitution for himself and take the money she earned as payback for the cash that she had stolen from him. Before long, however, the plan had gotten out of hand. The drug lord and his henchmen soon decided that simply prostituting Fan Man Yi wasn't going to be enough, so they began torturing her. They tied her up, they beat her, and for over a month they subjected her to various horrors, including burning her skin, SAing her, and forcing her to eat human feces, specifically her own, but also theirs. Though the torture of Fan Man Yi was horrifying enough, perhaps more horrifying is the tale of the 14-year-old girl who reported her murder to the police. Not only was she responsible for turning the torturers in, but she herself was one of the torturers. Known only as Ah Fong, likely a pseudonym given to her by the Hong Kong courts, the 14-year-old girl was a girlfriend of Chan Man Lok's. Though girlfriend was more likely a more loose term, in all likelihood, the young girl was probably just another one of his women of the night walker, employees. At one point, though, when Ah Fong was visiting the torturous trio in Man Lok's apartment, she witnessed Man Lok kick Man Yi 50 or more times in the head. Ah Fong then joined in, hitting Man Yi in the head as well. Though the details of the extent of the torture inflicted by Ah Fong were not released as part of her plea deal, they were no doubt extensive. When asked about them, she only replied, "I had a feeling it was for fun." After about a month of torture, Ah Fong discovered that Fan Man Yi had died in the night. Chan Man Lok and his henchmen argued that she had died from an overdose of an illicit substance that she had administered to herself, though most experts speculate that it was her injuries that eventually killed her. Experts had to speculate because there was no way to really know for sure, because after discovering that she was dead, the henchmen moved Man Yi's body to the apartment's bathtub where they took her apart with a saw. Then they cooked individual pieces of her to stop her from decomposing and emitting the smell of rotting flesh. Using boiling water on the same stove on which they were cooking their own dinner, killers boiled pieces of her body and disposed of them within the household's garbage. Her head, however, that they saved. After boiling it on the stove and allegedly using the same kitchen utensils to stir their meals that they did to move her head around, they sewed her boiled skull into an oversized Hello Kitty mermaid doll. Additionally, they kept one of Fan Man Yi's teeth and several internal organs which they stored in a plastic bag. In exchange for protection, which she also likely received in part due to the fact that she was so young, Ah Fong testified against Chan Man Lok and his two henchmen. In an attempt to rid herself of the haunting she claimed to be experiencing, she detailed the torture that the three men put Fan Man Yi through. Though the story was so disturbing that many felt it could not possibly be true. The evidence uncovered by the police was damning and disturbing, to say the least. The apartment in which Man Yi had been tortured and killed was full of Hello Kitty memorabilia, from sheets to curtains to towels, even silverware. Furthermore, the body part trophies taken from Man Yi were found inside, with evidence that all three men had interacted, air quotes, with them. Unfortunately, due to the state of Fan Man Yi's body and remaining parts, the police and medical examiners were unable to determine a cause of death. There was no doubt that she had experienced indescribable torture, and that the three men had inflicted much of the damage to her body, but there really was no way to tell whether a drug overdose or torture was to blame. As a result, the three were convicted not of murder, but manslaughter, as the jury believed that though they had caused her death, death was not the intent. The charge left Hong Kong's public reeling from the Hello Kitty murder case, but the trio was sentenced to life in prison with the possibility of parole in 20 years. My friends, that was in 1999. It is 2024. I could not find information about whether these perpetrators received their parole, because guess what? It's been over 20 years, but my guess is that, being members of the triad, likely connections, that organization may have, probably solidified or guaranteed that they received parole, and very well could be out there right now in another apartment doing similar things. Who knows? I warned you it was going to get dark. I'm sorry, but we got through it. We have made it to the end. That is the last tale I have for you guys today. So I want to say thank you. Thank you for hanging out with me today and listening to my fun facts about Hello Kitty, my mediocre urban legend, and a very sad and dark true crime tale called the Hello Kitty murder. With that, I guess our time here is done. I will release you from my dungeon and hope to see you again next time. Until we see each other again, stay safe, my friends.